Hi YouTube, this is Bayu here. Saturday, July the 10th, 8:09 Central Time. I'm making this quick video because I want to explain to you the issues that we have right now in the hemisphere and how the problem has been exacerbated because of I call it the beast. Because the beast, if you are religious, you know what I mean. It's the antichrist, the anti-good. And we have a problem because the beast is here. It's not across the Atlantic or Europe. It's not the Chinese. It's not the Russian. It's here in the U.S. I'm not saying that the whole country is the beast, but I'm saying the government, the people behind the curtain is what I'm referring to. Let's take what happened in Haiti Wednesday around 12:30 at nighttime. 26 Colombian ex-military were hired. They really don't know by who. They were paid to do a military operation. They went to the Dominican Republic. They enjoyed a vacation, everything paid. And then from the Dominican Republic, they moved to Haiti, which is the same island divided in two. The bulk of the island belongs to the Dominican Republic, and a little piece belongs to Haiti, which was French in the 1600s or 1500s, 1600s to be precise. If you ever been there, there is a castle in the one of the ports, which is amazing to see. It's a little hole, maybe yeah, 30 inches high by probably 20 inches wide, that they move from one room to the next room. No walls inside the castle, because back then the French built it like that to avoid the pirates and the French. Pirates, I make reference to the British, not to take over the castle, the local defenses. And that right now is still the case. Because if you analyze it in economic sense, and you see the news in Spanish, you understand a bigger picture than what they tell you in English. The wife of one of the soldiers, retired soldiers, that is under investigation for crime with lesser humanity. Yes, he had killed several ex-guerrilla that signed a peace agreement with the Colombian government. It was an investigation because he broke the law when he killed the Farsi mercenaries or terrorists, because the peace agreement was signed and they went back to zero. No more shooting, no more killing. And remember, that war lasted 60 years. 60 years! Actually, it was a tie. Not the government, not the Farsi guerrilla won the war, even though they were casualties by the tens of thousands. It's not hundreds of thousands in 60 years. But he was not supposed to leave the country. He was not supposed to have a passport, and all of a sudden he's in the Dominican Republic, vacationing, moving to Haiti. He called his wife 3 times. Once in the Dominican Republic to report that he was okay, he was having fun. Second time when he went to Haiti, and the third time was when he was running, when everything fell apart after the actual murder. And this is funny because you don't find this in English report. The president has his arm broken, right arm broken, and his leg broken. One of his eyes was literally got out, taken out, and he was shot with a big rifle, a 7.62 by 33, 39, or 41 NATO bullet, the big one, not the 5.56, and basically tore up the top of the chest. That's on the Spanish news, guys. Uh, this is not Mickey Mouse lies. His wife got 2 bullet holes on her, so she's wounded in a private hospital in Miami. Okay, so you have 28 people that they know for sure the overall arrested. But the funny part is, without counting the 4 mercenaries, because they were murdered, that they were killed by the police in the shootout. The funny part is 11 of those 28 broke into the Taiwanese embassy. And the acting ambassador called the police and say, look here, I got 11 people fully armed. I don't want to be in a shootout. I don't want to be on the news. I don't want to be another stupid Ecuadorian government. You know what happened in London with Julian Assange out of the Ecuadorian embassy. They went inside and they dragged Julian Assange out, 6 people. So say, we don't want to do that. That's bad for business. That's bad for the relation with the whole world. So just come through the back. The door is going to be open and, do the stuff inside. In the wall, nobody will see anything. So luckily they surrendered. It was not a shootout inside the embassy. The ambassador, acting ambassador, did a good job. Now there were 2 guys caught in a little ravine, hiding in one of those shanty town that they have around Port-au-Prince, and the people, the Haitian people did more arresting than the actual police. Just like in Iraq, the actual shooting against the U.S. Army, U.S. Marines, and the British Marine were done by the regular people, not by soldiers. And they keep calling again, what's the word that they use against them? Sympathizer. They were not were sympathizer. There's the people. This is their country. You come over here to kill them, they kill you, or you kill them. That's what it is. And it took 2.5 days. So it's 24 hours, 48 hours, about 55 hours for the Colombian government, not the president, little piece of shit. It is a piece of shit, and I don't care. He's worthless. To have the Minister of Justice inform the people that yes, some of the soldiers, after the radio interview, because remember, there were 2 radio, in Colombia radio interviews are more popular than the U.S. Here in the U.S., the press goes too much to the right and then they hide this stuff. There is no free press over here no more. Ask Julian Assange or the 2 guys in jail. So they called one of the guy that talked to his wife was like a top recruiter. Okay. So he was called and then they asked him, okay, what company is this? We don't know the name of the company. And where are we going? That's a secret, that's a mission. And the guy that was supposed to be recruited says, no, man, that sounds to me like it's stupid. You don't tell me the name of the company, you don't tell me where I'm going. Because this soldier that was retired learned about what happened to 2,250 Colombian soldiers or ex-soldiers that went to Saudi Arabia to fight the Houthis. Out of 2,250 some, including a U.S. colonel, they were blown up to pieces, killed, mangled, chopped the head up, chopped the arm. Open war, guys. Saudi and Yemenese army. And it's funny because I call it chancla wearing soldiers. They were not trained, they were fighters, and they kicked the tail of the Saudis. The Saudis had no army. They also hired mercenaries because the people don't want to fight. The Saudi citizens don't want to fight. They don't know how to fight, but they know how to run. It was pathetic. So the Colombian soldiers, the mercs, the wannabe mercs, they know that first of all I need to know where I'm going and who is the company that I'm going to work in, because they learn they got killed on the last mission. So he says, no, I'm not going. He talked, so when he talked on the radio, with the top news group in Colombia, Radio Caracol or TV Caracol. Caracol is the top in Colombia, top network in Colombia. So now you got everybody talking about the mess. So after this, I guess they needed to get permission from the U.S., from the rats over here to talk, because before that, not even a word. And now that the pictures, say, this is what you have to understand. If you are pro USA, and you are misquoted a loving country, which I don't know how you can love country. That's a psycho conception. You might love people, you might love a cat, you might love your neighbor daughters, but you cannot love a country. Okay, if you one of those, you need to get some help, because something is wrong up here. You might like, you might identify, you might be a supporter, but you cannot love a country. Something is wrong over here if you say that. So the Minister of Justice will send the Chief of Police and the Army top general to help with the investigation. The Colombians did that after the U.S. It was said that they was going to send the FBI agent and the Homeland Security to do investigation. Now, si los bobos idiotas no hablan español, no pueden entender a los mercenarios, ¿cómo mierda van a hacer una investigación? What I just said, if the idiots in Washington don't speak Spanish, how in the hell are they going to do investigation? Explícame eso despacito. Si no me entiendes, ese es el problema que te quiero explicar. What I said was, if you don't understand me, that's exactly the problem that I want you to explain to me. What good is it if you say half a goddamn army and don't speak the language? It's retard. You bring the case of the point to the top DEA from Arizona, a Chicano, not Mexican, but Chicano, not here, not there. Kind of broken in Spanish, but hey, that's why it's a Chicano. It was called to help the FBI to an investigation, and then he went back after he retired because, you know, DEA has some problems in Mexico. And after the Camarena agent was killed, and there is some rumor that it was the CIA that killed Camarena because he knew too much what the CIA was doing in Mexico, paying off. Everybody in the world knows how they work, so it's not a secret. But he knew too much that it could expose the rats, per se. So he went up there and then he killed some federales, he killed some state troopers, and then he is wanted man in Mexico. I mean, his head has a price, and anybody that's around him, so he's not going anymore up there. But this is the type of law enforcement that you have over here in the U.S. This is what Putin in the last conference laughed and says, if you hit a police in Russia, you only get 3 to 5 years in jail. Here you hit a police, you get 17 bullets on your back and your front and your leg. They execute you on the spot, and that is true. Hit a policeman, see what happened. So, as investigation, Colombians are playing the lip service of the U.S. because I am not a cop. I've never been a cop. But if you want investigation, the first thing you want to know, after you heard about Caracol News, the wife, okay, don't freeze your account, U.S. style, because immediately everybody knows. Take the money out, close your account, and everything goes to hell. Leave it open, don't close your account. But get the court order. You have to go with a clean court order to say, okay, I want to know everything that this man did on the last 18 months. How much money he has in the account, how big was the deposit, where did it came from, what account it came from, what's the name of the company, what's a wire, where the wire came from, what bank, you know. What is that called, that type of investigation? It has a specific name. Forensic banking investigation. Idiots of the FBI cannot do that. The special people that do that. They got to do one of those because you want to follow the money, where the money came from. Now, talk to me. The Haitian police says they had 10 Toyota vehicles. Now, 10 Toyota vehicles, we're talking new ones. They're not what old ones are used, new ones. So let's say 20 times 10 was $200,000. Colombians don't have $200,000 just to buy the vehicles. Where the vehicle from? And if you look at the vehicles to the video, now stay away from the U.S. news. Stay away from them because they don't tell you anything. Go to Russia, RT today. Go to a Press TV. The Iranian has some news from the field, from their own people, and the Venezuelan news group, telesurtv.net. Telesur, S-U-R, TV.net, and then you can see the videos and the phone recording of the lady, the wife of one of the soldiers. So right now we have a lip service. Oh, the prime minister that says I'm now in charge. Come to be that the Senate got a little get together. I think got 16 senators or 12 senators. Well, somewhere between 14 to 16. I don't remember the name. I'm getting old, guy. But they elected the president of the Senate to be the acting president. Now, this prime minister, he was not elected by anybody. He was appointed by the deceased. And then later he was fired because they knew that he was taking money from the cartels, from the local criminal groups in Haiti. And then that guy, he was approved. Okay, listen to me what I'm saying. Approved by the U.S. and UN. And when the Haitian Senate selected and voted for the president of the Senate to be the acting president, the U.S. got upset, the UN got upset, and they're not going to send troops to protect key industries in Haiti because they think that some terrorists are going to blow up the gas depot and set power generation, places like that, which if you follow international news, you know that the scare is kind of normal because it happened. So, but these guys don't know is it was Latin America who helped the Haitians to control the country, the Brazilians, the Chile, Argentina, the Ecuadorians, the Venezuela, the Colombians were there doing patrol in the city. So now they can, if they want to get help, forget about the U.S., forget about the UN. You got to go to South America, maybe even Cuba, maybe even Nicaragua, maybe even Mexico. If the president, acting president, call face to face to those governments, says, please send me a platoon, send me a company of soldiers just to do guard duty, because that's basically it is guard duty. And Haiti's left alone. It's left alone. So this is basically about control, and then they don't want anybody to know what actually took place. The two U.S. citizens born in Haitian, they've been here for a long time. They were hidden in a house of a female that is part of the deceased president a political party. Now she's saying that house does not belong to her. She rented the house from a lawyer, blah 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 blah. But the house has been habitated before, so somebody was living in there, was good taken care of. It was not an abandoned house. It was not a cheap house. It's a beautiful, I think it's a 7-bedroom house. I mean, it's like a small mansion. Right? I mean, Haitian standard of mansion, okay? And against the people, Hey, Mr. Policeman, we got two idiots right here. They're part of the group. They have military uniform, khaki, and they don't belong in the neighborhood. Come and get it. So the police went out there and got those two. The official version that they're saying is that they were hired, they don't know by who, to be the interpreters. This is why at the very beginning, the presidential guards were saying that they were speaking in Spanish and English. They were speaking English with a Spanish accent. Yeah, they were Colombian. Second language, so they don't speak it every day. That's not the native language and not the first language. You know, it's a second language speaker. If you're ESL, you know what I'm talking about. If you're monolingual, one language, sorry, your IQ is not high enough to understand two languages, so you don't know the perspective of the presidential guard that they were saying. It's normal, guys. Don't get offended. I speak two and chop a third language, and maybe 600 words, Russian words, and I understand. That happens. You don't have a clear. The idiots call it accent, but it's not called accent. It's called in phonemics. It's called intonation. The singing of the language. If you cannot sing it like a native speaker, you can understand because you're not following the rhythm of the language. It's in phonemics. Okay. If you're not in the linguistics, you go, "You got an accent." What the hell is an accent? If you're from Kansas, you got an accent. If you're from Brooklyn, New York, you got an accent. If you're from Nevada, California, you got an accent. If you're from Kansas, my producer can pick up Canadians like that. I'm not that good with Canadians yet. I know Aussies. I know I can pick a Russian when I speak English because they had a problem with the TH. So this is linguistic, guys. If you're not into linguistic, forget about it. It will take 100 years to understand it, or until you learn the second language. Point blank. This is funny because here they give you academic linguistic degrees, and the question is how many languages they speak. Just one. Now, what kind of linguistic degree is that? They teach you grammar, they teach you phonemics, phonetic, but that's not linguistic. But then again, that's because of the issue that the guards, presidential guard, told the police. So funny because we find Maria, the Russian State Department Minister of Foreign Relations, spoken that they're following the deal in Haiti very close, and they just tore the U.S. government to pieces because they're complaining that why they didn't send help. They heard their request to the UN and they veto their request for having UN soldiers up there. So if the acting president does not call the South Americans, the Cubans, or the Nicaraguans, or even the Mexicans, Mexico, AMLO probably will help them a little bit, maybe for 30 days or a short period of time, but he will. I know he will. Being a socialist at heart, he would worry about the people in Haiti. So this is something, guys, that you have to learn from the outside sources because U.S. prostitutes, as a lot of people call it now, they will not inform you. You don't know what the bullets start go flying around you, hopefully not the big ones. But the message up there, the evilness, and the way that they kill him is completely psychotic. Okay, it's like the president did something that it was punished like that. I don't know if he signed an agreement with the Chinese, sold the country to the Chinese, or put a port for the Chinese, or something major like that, because he was punished severely. And now the Senate took control of the country, took control of the government against the U.S. will and the UN will. The Haitians, that's their country, that's their Senate, that's their government, that's the people. That's the way I see it. The heck with everybody else and the pirates and the rats. They decide what it is. If they allow somebody else to get involved, then they never be independent, they never have a free country. They will be lapdogs like the stupid Europeans. Oh, and by the way, talking about stupid Europeans, Merkel, Angela, and Macron are going to talk to Putin because, believe it or not, I'm not smoking anything. France and Germany wants to break away from the EU because they're tired that the idiots in the EU Parliament are contradicting what is good for the French people and the German people. I don't believe it, but it is true. And the Russian lone big bad wolf already says, yes, we're sketching. They're going to the same place that Putin made Biden. The same buildings, same city, same everything. And if that happens, goodbye EU, goodbye small countries in Europe, because they're dead. They're dead, completely dead. I mean, my banana countries in Latin America are doing better than any small country in Europe. It's funny, but it is true, guys. I mean, it's like the whole world had tilted for the worse. One part of the world. Oh, Korea, since we are in the world. Korea president told basically the United States, Biden, that they will not join the Quad. What's the Quad? Japan, US, India, and Taiwan. Taiwan to contain China. Japan is never going to contain China. First of all, they don't have enough airplanes. They don't have enough ship. But this is, no, I'm not going to do that because my sales to China is $196 billion a year. My sales to US is only $26 billion. Let's see. I make 196 with you. I make 23 with you. Or 23, 26 with you. Which one I select? The 23 or the 196? What will you say? I go with 196. I have no problem. And basically everybody in the region know why the Chinese did Australian, because the Prime Minister in Australia had no brains. He cannot even sell cold water in the desert. That's how it's beyond stupidity. So now the farmers and the industry and the country is in pieces because the top partner in business is gone. China now is in Latin America buying everything that we bought from the Australia. Beef, Argentina, Uruguay, and grains, Brazil, Peru. I mean, it's like you never follow anything blindly. If you do, you go to pieces. That's exactly what's happening right now around the world, guys. Think about, remember what I said, you cannot love a country because that's not normal up here. You can admire, you can like, you can sympathize with the system, with the capitalist world. But right now, the capitalism in the U.S. is in pieces. Oh, by the way, now we're talking about capitalism. FDI, foreign direct investment to the U.S. was not big enough that the Chinese bid in by $30 billion. 196 to 133, 134. Why is it that the world, non-U.S. citizens, are putting money in China and not the U.S.? Now that's the question. That's the question that you need to ask. What's happening that everybody's pushing the U.S. aside? What's wrong with the U.S.? Or why is the perception of being wrong? Let me put it that way so I don't offend some of you. Why is the perception? Why they feel that way? It's for you to find out, guys. Some homework. Okay, short and sweet. Follow up the mess because it's very interesting. Very interesting. Talk to you later. Behave.